Well, well, well. Here we are, at my house. Welcome to the after party. You're the first to arrive, it turns out. So thank you for being fashionably late. Sorry for starting a little bit after 10:30-ish. We wanted to make sure we gave enough time for everyone who was watching the playbill, #playbill playback of Puffs, or 7 increasingly eventful years at a certain school of magic and magic. Yay! Amazing. If you watched, thank you. If you didn't, you're still welcome here at the after party. I'm Matt Cox, playwright, sound designer, voice of the Screaming Egg, and a few other strange voices within there. And here we are. We're just hanging out at my house. I put out an invite to a lot of my friends to this after party, the official playbill, #playbill playback, Puffs after party. And they just haven't arrived yet. So we can just use this time while we're here. Oh, I'm echoing. Something's happening with my voice. Oh no. Well, why is that? Thanks for letting me know, everybody. I'm gonna figure that out right now. We'll be right back with the after party in 1 second. Well, I've now, upon further inspection of the chat, it seems only one of you may be having an echo, and for you, I do apologize. I hope it can be figured out. Everyone else, I'm just going to clarify. Do you have an echo? Hold on. Watch as my eye line goes to my second monitor. This is Miles. You are correct. This is a puffy thing to happen, which is one of the best things about Puffs. Any mistake that happens, you can just chalk up to the lifestyle, as we say. No echo. Great. Wonderful. Well, how about that? Anything can happen at the after party, including echoes that are not echoes. Well, yay. As I was saying, welcome. While we're here waiting for my friends, be sure to use this opportunity to share, like, subscribe to this video and to this channel, and maybe, tell some other people about it. As you saw, there was a trailer for Kapowie Go Go Go, Episode 1, our follow-up project to Puffs that will be a stage play eventually, but we've adapted the first part to Zoom. If you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, it is on this channel. You can find it. Link to it in the description below. I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the world, so I would really appreciate it if you watched it, and I hope you'll love it as well. And maybe give that a share, maybe a like, etc. Amazing. Well, now we just have to sit here in silence until all my friends arrive. Wait, do you hear that? What's going on? Is someone at the door?
Julie, full body.
Look at that. Wow, here we are. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello to everyone. The Puffs, who you may have seen in tonight's playbill, #playbill playback of Puffs or 7 increasingly eventful years at a certain school of magic and magic. Of course, I have with me right here to my left, Mr. Zach Moon.
Hi, everyone.
Of course, Mr. Langston Belton.
Oh, hello. How are you?
And Miss Andy Miller. I was
This is a
looking at my
different intro than what I was
boxes.
used to.
Okay.
We have Jesse Canizaro.
Hi.
James Fooey.
Hey,
What?
he said Pooey.
Oh, Fooey.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
It's been a long day.
You're my
It's been a long
friend.
day. Always, I know. This time you're friend. I know how to say your name. I always say it.
You're my friend.
All right. Oh, hold on. We're getting an echo. We got to stop. AJ Dighty.
Yeah, Dighty. Yes. Yeah.
AJ Dighty. Ellie Phillips.
Hey.
Nick Carrillo. Steve
Hey.
Stout. Madeline Bundy. And Julianne Earls. Wow. Wonderful. How many of you out there watching, and all of you, watched the Playbill playback of Puffs?
I think we all did, yes?
I did.
Oh,
I
yeah.
watched it.
Did.
Guys, live
Yeah.
streaming is
We were so young.
surprisingly exhausting. Stressful.
I'm so
Watching it, right?
stressful.
Did anyone else, while you were watching it, go through in your head the mental checklist of what you had to be doing?
Yeah.
Like my brain, my body automatically went to like, I would see things and I go like, did you make it? Like, okay, okay, that thing went off without a hitch. That was
Oh
good.
yeah, like I was like, do I have my glasses? I don't need them.
I instinctively checked all of my pockets and I didn't
Stealing it.
have any.
Oh, it's just so stressful.
Amazing. So a bunch of you watched, which is awesome. So similar to some of our other streams that we've been doing, we're just going to be taking your cues, giving them some A's. Right back at you. Questions, answers. So please feel free to put any questions you may have for any of these people surrounding me or anyone not here, and we can speak for them.
We have on the Instagram as well.
Oh, we have some for the Instagram. How great. We
Yeah.
will also be
like that.
joined by some special guests who are
Is it
even
RoboCop?
later to the party. And one of them is going to bring a very special surprise that some of you out there have been asking for, or at least a sneak peek of it. I'm giving too much away. Amazing. So just feel free to put any questions in the live chat. And what's something from the Instagram to start us off?
Let's see. What's the funniest mistake made during a performance? From.
Oh.
Can't wait for
It's
Comes out of that
it's
mouth.
Zach Moon, yeah.
It's mouth? I think it's
can't
mouth.
wait. Yeah, exactly.
Mouth
I
is-
can't wait to see
yeah.
what comes out of the mouth. Yeah. Somebody else tell the story, yeah.
when
It-
Zach.
Yeah, so the real line is I can't wait to see Cedric come out of that maze, but somewhere along the way, around show like 600 or so,
Oh.
my brain stopped and only got to, and then woke up at the letter M and couldn't remember what the rest of the word was supposed to be. So the thing that came out was, I can't wait to see Cedric come out of that mouth.
You could hear that falter. Like you could hear the
Holy
question mark in
smokes.
his brain as he said it. It's like mouth. He knew it was wrong.
We
Yeah,
were also
like
supposed
he
to
had to
cheer
watch it.
afterwards,
He had to
and
watch
we
it
didn't.
fly away anyway.
Yeah,
We were
it's
supposed
just like
to cheer, and we all
hardcore
just went silent, and we're like, "What did?"
No, we
just
all went.
say?"
We all went. Yeah.
Ew.
What?
And then
Cedric
we
died.
all had to keep it together.
The problem was,
to be like,
then I tried to keep it together, and I kept imagining when he said mouth, like my AccuBrain was like, imagine a mouth. I imagined a giant, like wizard school, like amusement park mouth.
Yeah, carnival
That,
mouth.
that
Yeah.
kids like went like chomping teeth, like and we're like, who comes out of that mouth?
Well, and then all of you got to leave the stage, and I had to stay there and be sad alone while you went off stage and just started
I've
laughing.
never gotten off.
Heavy is the head,
I've
man.
never
Heavy is the
left
head.
Well, you
not
used it though. Wayne was still just thinking about how Cedric never did come out of that mouth. Sorry, I'm keeping a cat from currently jumping and destroying
Yeah,
the stream.
the cat really wants
he
it.
really wants to come and wreak havoc.
Darwin.
Oh,
Darwin. Awesome. We have a question. First question of the night. First we have a shout out from a Mr. Oliver Bundy. A shout out to Organic Valley brand milk. I'm assuming that was on the screen, or else Oliver Bundy just wants
Isn't
to
that
shout it
what
out.
Jesse did the thing for?
Yeah, Jesse.
That's one of my. There's a commercial on it now.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
There we
run
go.
the cows.
Plug in.
Eating out of the skull of a fictional animal. Look at that.
yeah.
amazing.
That's the mug that you dropped?
Look at you.
Madeline, a question for you from Daniel Brooks. Well, I mean, it's specific. It's to everyone, but I'm going to give it specifically to you. Could you beat Daniel Radcliffe or Darren Criss in a
Holy
fight?
Full screen.
Was that Darren Chris? Darren Chris asked that?
They're both pretty buff now.
What kind of
fight is this? Is it like boxing? Is it like
Let's
like
see.
A fight of the mind.
Answer the question.
Two-part question. If you get to
Say
pick,
it.
if you get
Say
to pick
it.
the fight,
The
it's
combat
it's an alleyway brawl.
Or a battle of
my
wits?
my brain instinctually said yes, absolutely.
All right, you heard it here. All right.
Her answer needed to that.
You heard it for here first, folks.
What
Radcliffe's your move. Fight camp starts this week.
That challenge is out there. Huffleclaw wants to know, what is your quarantine hobbies? Anyone got any fun new quarantine hobbies? I'll answer.
Drinking
Mine has been doing this. I've learned some things. And I saw someone noted that I've been playing with some of the special effects. I hope you enjoyed that disco ball. Let me know if you did. And if you never want to see it again, also let me know.
There was a disco ball?
There was, oh yeah, when we were dancing, there was a disco ball.
We don't get that.
Right.
We don't get that, folks. You hear that? We don't get that.
It's not for us.
Awesome. Cool.
I have been playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah, me too. We've been to each other's
And if you like
islands.
Animal Crossing content,
Oh
go
my
to the
God.
Fuzzy Masked Man on Instagram and watch some stories. You're gonna have a real good time.
They're horrifying.
They're
I
I
horrible.
mean, a lot of video games, right? I think some people have been playing video games.
Video games, also Dungeons and Dragons. I'm
Yeah.
almost in like a D&D boot camp now. I'm in 4 different games. It's almost like I have a part-time job playing D&D. That's where I'm at right now with DMing.
Oh, are you? I'm
You should be getting paid.
I'm in 3 games right now. So you beat me by 1. Yeah, I'm in 3 games right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
How's that paying?
I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time. I'm living my life.
James, with being in that many games, do you have any problems remembering who you are?
No.
Cool.
It's funny that because the people I'm playing with are so different, and it's so different DMing the different games, it snaps in pretty easily. Like some people are more like, I want to talk to the shopkeeper and role play getting a good deal, and other people are like skipping past that stuff and not sitting in that. They're just getting to the fight, so you immediately feel the vibe. It's,
Highly recommended for anyone out there. If you like puffs, you'll probably like Dungeons and Dragons. I don't want to generalize. Amazing. Too much free time in the chat. We can all relate. What were each of your favorite Zach Smith rants, as they put it? Has anyone got any good classic gems? Zach usually says this one, but it's also one of my favorites, so I'm going to steal it from him. Which there was one when we were at our second off-Broadway, or our first off-Broadway house, our theater, the Electra Theater. There was a room with just a lot of props and things from other shows, and there was just I think Nick found a heart. Did you find?
No, that's not how the heart got
No,
there.
that's not how the
I
heart
brought
got
the
there.
heart.
No, you brought the heart. Well then.
I brought the heart to do a story that James and I were doing backstage. I put it in the hands of a gnome that we would later hide at New World.
Yeah.
Wow.
And James found it as part of the story, and then Nick saw it and said, "Can I use that?"
Great. I've believed a lie all my life.
I have one that we really haven't talked about, which is one time Nick arrived at the theater after having a particularly eventful commute on trains, and then he basically talked about Zach Smith, the time when he had. Nick, do you remember this?
Yeah, I had a shitty fucking commute and I was stalled on trains forever, and then I just came and I just railed on the MTA for like literally unintended.
No, don't you kind of miss it though?
Yeah, another one that I forgot about that I really appreciated, and I remember that Steve you would bring about, was the one that I felt very happy about. This one that I came up with when I was like, hey, I've been talking to my therapist and I needed to be okay with like who killed my parents, and everybody was like, oh, that's weird. And then I was like, yeah, and it was like, you should tackle it by dressing up as your parents' killer for Halloween. And everybody was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, which is easy because I can just wear my brother's clothing. And everybody was like, what? And then I think you said that I just sat, and then after that I was
You
like,
sat
right.
down and took off
You
one
took
shoe.
off one shoe.
I took off one shoe, which was an homage to Richie Tenenbaum and Royal Tenenbaums of just breaking
on
and
Hannah's
losing.
part when he takes
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And the 27 dresses one is also just one of my favorites.
Oh,
It was,
I love that.
Also,
Crazy.
it was great because
Yeah.
it was just like the fulfillment of like a years long bit of just how much Nick you like 27 dresses.
Let's get that
I don't
sequel. Let's get that sequel going. Come
I
on.
want to know if
28
people went out and like
28
downloaded it after watching Puffs.
It
You
got a
know?
bump. It had to get a bump.
Gotta make it
There's-
trending.
The Puffs bump.
We watched
James
that.
Marsden. Let's get James Marsden on the board.
Watch
Does
him
anyone
join the
know
Zoom
him?
call.
If you know him, message us.
Yeah, please do.
Like personally.
James, we know you're out there, my man. Come on.
Trying to do a crossover episode.
I was going to ask a question specifically for AJ, but he does seem preoccupied.
I'm
He's
good.
back.
I'm good. I'm here. Hi.
Awesome.
No.
Emma Catherine would like to know if you have any advice to someone who has plans to direct/star as the narrator in a production of Puffs.
Whoa.
Oh wow. I have really no advice for direction because I'm really terrible at it. But I mean, in terms of the narrator, just make it. I mean, everyone says make it your own, but like really, really feel free to like kind of build it up from the ground up because I think the narrator is best when it's something that's like completely different and very specific to the actor playing them. So I would say design it as you would your version of Doctor Who is sort of my go-to advice for that. The one that you saw tonight or before is my version of what the Doctor would be. So.
Well, and what perfect timing for a question about directing, because we have right now entering the room the
Is it
director
real?
of Puffs, Kristen McCarthy Parker.
Yay!
Welcome, Kristen, to the after party.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Good.
Woo!
How are you?
I'm good.
Sounds
Guys,
like-
that was so much fun. It was so wonderful to watch it again.
That was fun.
You're all so talented.
Kristen, funny enough, we just had a question from the live chat, specifically about someone who is going to possibly direct a production of the show, and wondered if they had any advice on directing the show.
Yeah.
We'll
congrats.
leave. We'll let you just do your thing.
We'll turn your cameras off.
All right, everybody stop.
That's so exciting. How cool. Yeah, I mean, I think Matt said this before, but like pacing is a big one. Like make them talk real fast. But I think also there's like a tendency to want to like announce the comedy and sort of like play it really goofy all the time. And there's definitely a lot of silliness in Puffs, but you also want to make sure that you're keeping like the heart very present. They're real people, and we love them more if they're not always trying to announce their jokes and trying to be, asking for laughs, as we would say.
You heard it here, folks. Awesome. Yay. We're just doing a Q&A, Kristen. So this is fun. I've never brought someone in during one of these streams.
That was
This is
great.
new.
That was awesome.
And it worked, so it wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought it might
We
be.
also have a question on Instagram about
Oh.
the Australia production
Oh, please.
and the differences between the New York and Australia production, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Let's bring them on.
Let's bring them coming from Australia.
What time is it?
Where are
there?
you,
Who knows?
Australia?
Yeah.
The music.
Right? It's Spanish there.
Yeah, I mean, Australia was really, really fun. We were working with a really awesome group of people over there. I think like there were many moments where we were just totally tickled by like the Australianisms where like language had to change. Matt mentioned this in the tweet, but the field trip changing to excursion, and Uncle Dave was Uncle Davo. And, he had a lounge room and not a living room. So there was a lot of fun stuff like that. We were working with like kind of a semi-celebrity in Australia, which was very strange for us. Rob, who's really wonderful and really, really nice.
Who was
So
on
yeah,
the
it was just a really
Australian
good
Masked
time.
Singer.
Yeah.
Wolf.
Spoilers
Yeah,
for
we felt
anyone catching up.
so special.
Sorry.
Oh, snap.
What?
Can you imagine?
Sorry.
Yeah, myself, Kristen, and Maddie all worked on the Australian version. And Matt, I'm trying to remember what other prop we had. The bear change to the
Koala.
drop bear.
Yeah.
It was New Jersey. Didn't Jersey change?
Oh yeah, all of the location. It was Wayne was from Sheep Sheared Flats,
Well,
Queensland.
Where was
Oh, that's awesome.
And Craigieburn. Oliver was from Craigieburn, which was a
Craigie Burn.
A nearby
Been
city
there.
in
It's a great
Melbourne.
place.
Yeah.
Craigie Burn.
Craigie, I don't want to. I'm not gonna do the voice. I'm not gonna do the voice.
From Australia.
Awesome.
From Australia.
Going back to the live chat. Lindsay Burton wants to know, what was the funniest mishap to occur during a family-friendly matinee? Keep it family-friendly.
Where's Jake?
There was a time when Jessie, as the dragon, was had been introduced, and she unleashed dual fingers towards the audience. And as they reached their height, she realized what was happening, and then they receded back. One of those children's party favors that kind of goes like that.
I think I also did that like during the Malfoy broom bit one time, and I think I also panicked and like somehow maybe threw my wand to try and cover, or not to try and cover, but there was just a panic happening. There was a panic happening.
Realize
my other favorite mistake, just to go back to the one before, is when I screamed when Oliver was introduced. That's my
God, yeah.
Not that any of us ever make mistakes on stage, but
Or when Zach sneeze screamed during his
Holy smokes.
That was the most terrifying thing.
what was the line?
You can't even replicate it.
No, it's like if you
That noise can never be repeated. That noise is lost in the ether.
I think my favorite though was when Jake was doing Zach Smith, and he would do like this Zach Smith in the house, Zach Smith in the house, and then go like this and try and make Zach as Wayne go Zach Smith, but he wouldn't. And there was a very little girl with pigtails and a sequin shirt in the front row who went, Zach Smith! And he turned to her and went, F you! And then immediately realized that he just swore at, he didn't say F. And he just realized he swore at this little tiny
Holy
child.
smokes!
And we all died. Because we thought it was hilarious. Oh my god.
Little girl turned
And
into a
then-
skeleton. What happened?
He walked for like 3 steps and then just went, that was a child.
Completely broke character.
You
Was
just
just
said
like,
it out loud?
what have I done?
But that, yeah. Sorry.
When the show is, I just want to clear Jake's name. When the show is over,
That's impossible.
when the show is over, he ran out into the lobby and he found the family and he apologized, and the parents thought it was hilarious.
Yes.
And he took a picture with the
Yes.
little girl.
Everyone,
Was the little girl turned to stone?
check in with her. Let's bring her in.
That means it.
Pigtails blown back.
Actually,
Can
we
you
do
imagine
have-
having
Oh,
a
wait, sorry,
grown
what?
man curse? I was just gonna say, can you imagine having a grown man curse at you after the show? You get over it. The show's over. He comes running towards you.
I need to talk to you.
You! I gotta say something to
To
you.
you.
and it was
Run,
just
Sally.
like
You'll
he
survive.
was
We'll
a
stay.
caricature of a small child with the pigtails and light up shoes.
On
Oh.
a
those who-
similar
I
note.
think most-
Oh, sorry. What?
I was just gonna say, I think a lot of people know, but we did have a swear jar backstage where we'd put $1 in if you did say anything or do anything that was not family friendly during a family friendly
And,
night.
and to be clear, people need to realize that we would do a kid-friendly matinee, a regular show, it would be alternating, okay? And we would have to remember which lines we were saying that show that were different, and we would have to change little moments all the time.
This isn't family friendly, but it's family specific. We watched when we were doing the show one time. There was a nice, sweet, young seeming child in like the second row, and about halfway through the show, we realized they had a puppet.
Oh,
I
I
remember.
was also watching and following the eye line
Horrifying.
of where she was going,
Incredible.
and it did feel like we had we needed to find the locket and break the curse. It was.
You're out there and you need help.
Are
Let
you
us know.
okay?
Awesome. Well, speaking of, not speaking of, we have another question for another specific person. And what's that? I think I hear someone else at the doorbell. Is that Puff's composer, Mr. Brian Matolius?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Oh, great.
what a good music sting.
What an enjoy.
Damn.
Nice.
Hey, Brian.
Welcome, Brian.
Hey.
Welcome to the Puffs Playbill Playback After Party. Brian,
Yeah, sorry I'm so late.
Brian, listen, we're not going to waste any time. We've got a very important question for you.
Right, I'm
from
ready.
The chat. It's from Miles Foster, and it is: have you
Okay.
seen the Tenet trailer?
Oh, Nick, yes. Miles, I'm so glad you asked. You asked. You always ask, even before it came out. But yeah, I've watched it like a dozen times. I love it.
Great. It was a question, Brett. Has everyone seen the Tenet trailer? It's pretty
I
neat.
did. Can't tell you what's happening. Blah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm all about it.
I'm excited.
I thought it was only available in Fortnite.
I
was
hope
it
it's
not?
better than Nolan's garbage Batman movies. Yeah.
Whoa.
Or Interstellar. 'Cause Interstellar is a garbage movie. Interstellar is a garbage.
Coming after
You
him.
know he's watching this
Wow.
because he's my great uncle.
Good. Good. Then take
Beef.
notes. Then take notes.
Nick, though, Interstellar's not one of the Batman movies.
Yeah.
The Batman movies are okay. Dark Knight is a good movie because of Heath Ledger, and Interstellar is a garbage movie.
Hold on,
Bad movie.
Everyone who's asked questions, I'm still going through the list, but I had to jump to the bottom for the opinions on that take. Nick, take it back. Hot take, bad take.
Interstellar, garbage movie. Interstellar's a bad movie. Interstellar's not good.
Changing the
Interstellar's not good.
Brian.
Yeah.
The word
I love
around town
Interstellar.
is there's a. Oh man, I forgot that I had made little. I've made little things for whenever you two were coming on, and I didn't use them. I'm gonna use them real quick though. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
Great. Oh, look at that. Now it says there's spotlights and it says Brian's name. Oh.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. And then there was one for Kristen. Oh, there that is. Oh God. Sorry.
You guys can't see it, but it's just it says
Oh, there was even one. That's good.
director, composer.
Oh.
Oh, you worked a lot.
Great job, Matt.
You worked a lot.
Great job.
It looks cool.
It does.
Just support
It's the best they ever heard.
Brian, you got any updates on that soundtrack?
I actually do have an update for that soundtrack. And that is, I'm going to be dropping a single next month.
Brian,
It is.
what is it? What is that single?
I was about to you preempted my announcement.
Well, Brian,
what's
just spit it
the
out.
single?
What is it?
Okay.
What is it, Brian?
Oh,
What is it,
it
Brian?
is CENTAUR.
Well, Brian, when can we hear it?
You can hear it right now.
What? That's right.
You gotta dance. You
Coming
gotta
to
dance.
you all and to all of us for the first time, except for me, I listened to it. The world premiere of the Puffs original soundtrack version of Centaur in full. We're gonna listen to the whole thing right now.
Woo!
Sit back, put some sunglasses on, y'all.
Yay!
Brian.
Holy shit.
Those lyrics, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh,
That-
that's
Never
the
heard so many of them.
Also, if that
Fantastic.
horribly echoed in the video, let
Club
me know.
banger.
Because apparently it might have, and if it did, I'm so sorry. You can hear a better version of it. I'm gonna figure out why that's happening. I don't know.
That was a nightmare engine for somebody. That was great.
Apparently, but awesome.
Make it
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Oh, that song's great. Oh my goodness.
That is a
I
bop.
think-
That is a
Steve,
certified
I
bop.
think you tweeted something about how we weren't sure if that would be okay for the family-friendly version.
Right. Yeah.
I left it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote it so that it could play in both because the lyrics, other than the chorus, "Come on, girl, ride that centaur," it's about literally riding a centaur.
It was the combo also with Jesse jumping on Zach's upper torso.
Sure. I could have used less tongue. Yeah.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Jessica Cannizzaro
Could have
could use
used.
less time.
Yeah, but it is. It's a half man, half beast, half centaur. All centaur.
Yeah, I love that. I've also heard at least one of the other tracks, and you're all in for a real treat, Brian. Good job.
Julie,
Hell
I feel
yeah.
like
I'm excited for y'all to hear it.
I feel like that would be a good number for like quads.
I was gonna say, use that as
Ah.
Yeah, for like your squats, you know? It's like at a good tempo for working out too as well.
Oh, I thought you meant like college quads.
No.
It just blared over the school's PA.
You can tell how we're holding
Wait,
up physically.
wait.
No, AJ,
Hey,
walk
what would
up
that
and down the
song add to quads? What,
Vibe,
why would
a
you be in a?
general
If you,
vibe.
tell me why you're. Tell me the situation where you're in a quad and someone says, "You know what this quad's missing." ride that centaur.
Yeah, I'd imagine it'd be like a bacchanal scenario.
In the quad?
Yeah, in the quad.
During finals, man? You can't do that.
Get some grapes, get some tokens.
Can't, man. Not this time. Not this time of year.
Did you go to college?
I went to NYU, so no, I did not.
I was gonna say right now, I was gonna be like the guy who didn't go to college is saying that it would definitely work in college.
I didn't have a quad.
Going back to the live chat, another good one here. Jumping back a few topics as well. Andy, the space kid, wants to know if there's any tips for a Puffs-themed D&D campaign.
Ooh. That means a lot of characters to choose from, right?
Someone was, I feel like someone messaged in or something that they were talking about. Oh, it was to the Puffs Play Instagram that they were saying like they have a D&D Puffs related thing, and like Zach Smith is I don't know the thing, so don't
describe
it. No, they didn't.
No.
I sent a thing. No. They went through a bunch of them, and I said if they make a Zach Smith, he has to be a rogue. Like he has to be a rogue. They hadn't done that. They had other people, but Zach Smith is a rogue. But I don't know the other ones yet.
No, I agree with that.
No, those are my. I thought you were saying that Nick messaged in with
first time listener.
Wonderful. Yeah, I don't know. I think you could have some fun.
James, weigh in. This is your moment.
This is it.
Oh no, my moment.
It's
yeah,
going by.
I would think that
It's going by.
I would think that the really fun thing to do, and this is also how I play D&D as a player versus a DM, is not necessarily to play someone else's character, or even though I'm an actor, like when I play D&D, I don't like to try to put on a thing and like a real character unless it's a one shot. I like to just be me and get to explore the fantasy world as myself. And I do a character and like fill out the sheet to, just mechanically make that happen. But I would just put yourself in Puffs and have NPCs that are all the other characters and just have fun interacting with them and being in that world yourself. That's what I would do.
Wow.
That sounds solid.
Sweet.
Oh, intrigue.
Well thought out.
James
There it
Bowie, Paladin, everybody.
Came through.
All right, here
Leader of Ultron.
a real question about the process here. Malva Ashdown wants to know, Zach, do you think of Wayne as a dramatic or a comedic character?
Ooh, damn.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know that I would qualify him as one or the other. I think being in the center of a lot of situations kind of has to play both roles a lot of the time. I mean, obviously the show's a lot of fun, so we got to enjoy that and have comedic moments, but also still finding the heart and being, the center of that journey is a dramatic thing in and of itself. But I don't know, both.
Cool.
Dramatic. Wait.
No, you only said dramatic. That was.
How do you say dramedy?
Dramedy. The word is dramedy.
Yes,
The word is
dramatic.
dramedy.
How do you add the IC? So is it dramedy?
I don't know. That was a bullshit.
Dramatic. Dramatic.
Dramatic, yeah.
Dramatic,
yeah.
It's a dramatic role.
Oh boy!
That's just
All right.
most people in Hollywood.
Really getting down to the subjects though. Film Fan 3 is still waiting on today's soup. Steve. What's the soup of the day?
Steve's
Hit it.
corner.
Hit it.
I mean, look, some reviewers say like I'm going to do a soup a day. And I feel like, yes, it's reliable to get on that sort of like content calendar.
Doesn't sound like an answer.
I gotta choose it. It gotta speak to me. Like this Amy's, for example. This speaks to me, but not in this moment. I can't do this right now. I can't just pull this out of a hat.
Let's all pull up.
Like the weather.
We all just hold
Jesse have those soups.
No.
Wait a minute.
I'll just hold up our soups.
She's not in her kitchen, folks.
Are you in your kitchen?
So close.
I'm in the kitchen. I had soup today. I did have soup today. I had this and I added corn and garlic.
Why do you still have it? Why do you still kid? Why you had that soup? Why do you still have it? Why is it there?
Jesse, what are you
She
drinking?
had it. What was
That's
remaining?
Rebecca soup.
Had it, the corn, and then
I'm a culinary chef, Andy. Right now I'm
Jesse,
drinking
tell
tequila
us
and
about
salt.
the cocktail you made for yourself for this evening.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking. Jesse's cocktail hour. This is tequila, and I squeezed a little bit of lime in, and then I just kind of took this salt and I put that in too. And they're telling me it's not a cocktail, but
So, a
Wait, are you doing
deconstructed,
Oh boy.
not a cocktail.
tequila shot.
Are you doing a
Not a
banana chaser? Are you doing a
Banana chaser?
If anyone wants to, I've got.
So, hey, if you're out there and you think your blood pressure is too low, get this drink in you, and that son of a gun will skyrocket through the roof.
Add
You'll
some
hear your blood
potato
pressure.
soup.
It'll be louder than it'll be the loudest thing you ever heard in your life. Oh my god. Tequila, lime juice, and can you put the salt again?
That's it.
Is it a
That's all you
grinder?
need.
Is it a grinder or do you like pour it out?
Grinder. It's a
Of
grinder.
course, it's a grinder.
How many revolutions did we get? How many?
Of course. At least 5.
5?
Jesse!
Small revolution.
5? You get 5. You get 5 servings of salt shavings in your tequila lime juice.
Tequila.
Oh, it's a reckless
sorry,
gimlet. It's just a reckless ass gimlet.
I didn't
A
say-
reckless ass gimlet.
There is ice in here. There's also ice. That's the fourth.
Oh, okay. Well,
That
good.
makes it okay.
We solved it.
I forgot to say.
And as we all know, ice hates salt, so the salt will leap out of your glass.
Running low. Okay.
You deserve better, Jesse.
Don't put salt in your drinks.
What was the question?
This is about soups.
No, okay.
Oh, wow,
Yes,
Jesse,
you
why
were
were
right
those
on
soups
track.
right there? Why were those soups right there? I didn't hear that answer.
I'm near the kitchen, baby, and we got that stack of soups.
I don't think so.
Ready
I
to
don't
go.
think so. I think you had those littered around your room.
Also, to anyone confused about this tangent, Steve's Soup Corner was a bit from our first reading that we did of 19-ish years after, which is the sequel to Puffs, which if you're just now joining us, there's some sequel stories to that you can find on this channel. Like, share, subscribe. There's 19-ish years after the sequel, there's Dude, Where's My Fantastic Friends, the prequel, and then Puffs 3, Eventfulness Maximus. They're all fun times, so check them out. And Steve's Soup Corner came from one of
And
uh,
I
those.
review soups on at least one of them.
Yep,
In a corner.
that's right. And there's a theme song that Brian wrote
That's right.
that also echoes really badly again.
I was so surprised how many rhymes you found for corner, Brian.
Yeah, mourner. That's a good one. No need to be a mourner. Head down to Steve's Soup Corner. What are some of the others?
You
For
immediately
those,
forgot.
check out the
Wrote it.
opening
I don't know.
of Puffs 3 Eventually.
Click over to that edited video of Dude, Where's My Fantastic Friends.
It's really good. It's really good.
Oh yeah, Warner. You don't want to be a warner. You don't want to warn someone that they're gonna have, some Times Square soup, or you're gonna need a mourner. And there's no need to be a scorner.
That's
Corner.
the one. Corner.
Oh,
Autumn H.
There you go.
Autumn H is on that note as well, who I apologize for the volume of the dance sequences when people came in. I could have turned them down.
What happened to you when
I chose
you
not
heard
to.
them? Did your head explode?
Yes, they are planning on binging the entire Puffs tetralogy
Nice.
this week. How many times will they cry?
Cool.
Oh.
7.
oh.
The whole time.
3.
Whole time.
3.
One time, but the entire time.
Continuous cry.
One time in 7 hours.
3.
And then like 17 times during Steve's Soup.
Jill from the Prairies, which is a great name, because I know everything about you, Jill. I know where you're from. As
Vaguely threatening. Vaguely threatening.
Everything about you.
As
Your
part
name
of
comes
the
to
as part of the community read through, Donald Glover discovered there was a group chat. And he wasn't on it. Do we have a group chat? And if so, who's not on it?
Who's not on it?
We do.
I'm not on it.
We have multiple ones actually. I
Yeah,
think
we've
there
got
is
Yeah,
more.
we have several multiple ones.
We have a lot of group chats.
Yeah. So honestly,
think
the
it's
answer is
something
all of us on at least one.
And the best times are when you wake up. Like sometimes I go to bed early and I'll wake up and I'll have like 65 unread text messages.
It will be said that James muted us a long time ago.
James often doesn't respond for a while, and then we'll get like.
I muted you as well. I did it as well. I mean, he's not the only one.
I mute every group.
It came in because again, sometimes a discussion will come and it's too much, and I'm like at work, and everyone's like, "What is someone in danger?" You know, your phone seems to keep lighting up. It happened in a meeting. I was in a meeting, and it kept lighting. They were like, "I think someone's trying to contact you," and I go, "No."
It's nothing.
Words. If the words "shit and shower" don't interest you, then you don't want to be on this thread.
What it feels like.
By the way, if anybody wants to buy shit and shower, talk to we're selling it.
Talk about everyone.
Here's the thing.
As your legal representative for the BPO boys, don't send me to jail.
Okay. So just to paint the picture here, okay, we had 2 dressing rooms, obviously with the male dressing room and the female dressing room. And the boys, they call themselves the Baby Oil Boys. Okay. And while
TM, Baby Oil Boys, TM.
I was thinking about live tweeting as the Baby Oil Boys tonight, but it was too much work.
Basically, in their room was video games, and I'm coming up with products such as the shit and shower.
You'd all buy it if you had it.
If you're wondering to yourself, what is a shit and shower? It's exactly as it's described. Can I go to a place where I can shit and shower? Yes, you can.
This is where it happens. It's finally happened.
This is the after party.
James had Ablantis.
Atlantis.
I loved Atlantis.
But to be fair, Atlantis was a genuinely good prospect. I would go to James's very nice upscale underwater themed club, Atlantis, full of men, women, and other persons with abs. If you got abs, you're in.
That's right. It's very inclusive for people with abs.
Just 2 abs.
So exclusive. What?
Inclusive if you have abs.
However you define abs. If you come up and say, I define these as my abs because X, hey, there's a case we made. There's a quorum at the door. Just you get it.
After this live stream ended, though, I still opened my phone to 103 messages from our group thread. I don't know how anyone was somehow texting and live tweeting at the same time.
This is what I wanted to say though about
we were crushing our brain.
Yeah, James, what were you gonna?
No, I was just gonna say because I check in, but it's like a digest that I open up and I read. If you keep it on live for the alerts, it sounds and feels on your leg if you've got it on vibrate like there's a family emergency.
Exactly.
No, it does. That's what it feels like. It's like, oh God, whatever you're doing, it's like drop it because mom's on fire.
It's true.
Oh God.
I kept getting asked what's going on.
I fell asleep early one time, and I woke up the next day, and I went, "What happened?" Oh wait, no. We were just talking about Brave Little Toaster and how it scarred all of us.
It's terrifying, guys.
Very upsetting.
It's very upsetting.
All right, moving on. I should have had a topic to move on to. Another question for the live chat. I think we're gonna try this, a brief one at the end. If you would be interested in seeing the Puffs, this group of people play a game of Quiplash, the Jackbox game. Let us know. We might try it. It might not work, but we're gonna try it.
Know that this is what I will say. This is what one of the things that solidified us as a cast is playing Quiplash in that room and finding out where everyone's sense of humor was, and being able to know just on one prompt, like I know exactly who wrote that. I know whose brain that came out of, and also the surprise of hearing someone write something so outrageously heinous, and you're like, well, who wrote that? And it's like James, and it's like the most wholesome person be like, oh, I think this is objectively funny, and say some outrageous amazing.
Also, just to be clear, regardless of what the audience says, this is what we always do after Zooms.
It's true. Yeah. I know. I can't find who asked this question, but this is going back a little bit. What would a Puff's cocktail be? Would it be tequila and salt?
I really need to defer to James on this one.
Yeah.
There's definitely tequila in it. There's definitely tequila.
Is it yellow though?
It's
yellow though, right?
Maybe
It has to be a reposado tequila for
juice,
sure.
Maybe something in there to keep that yellowish look.
Tequila,
maybe
pineapple.
Yeah, looking like pee.
Couple tablespoons of salt. Just dump it in.
Five revolutions.
Five revolutions.
5 revolutions.
No, guys, it's gotta be 3.
Oh yeah, third or nothing revolution.
Third or nothing.
And that's what makes it Puffs.
Maybe it's just 3 shots of tequila.
Hey.
Also
That's
good.
if you're. That's how. However,
Dangerous.
you know what? It might go by what how many what year you are. You know what I mean? As you go up in years in the school
Responsible.
cocktail, it's like no, you
Um,
ain't doing that first year
It's
cocktail.
also it's also got
No,
chocolate,
not that drink for 11-year-olds.
chocolate fucking coffee grounds. The fucking things that we lived
beans,
off of.
beans.
Chocolate
Espresso beans. Yeah.
So backstage, we
You mean
also
these?
had
Vodka soaked espresso beans.
Do you mean
vodka soaked espresso, and we also had
Vodka.
what was the worm salt that we would always use?
I got that in my home. Thank you, Steve.
Worm
Shout out to
salt.
Steve
Yeah.
Stout. Everybody get worm salt. I have 3 bottles of worm salt in my house because of Steve Stout.
It's great. Try it.
A question from
I
Colin Edberg.
Oh,
Thanks for being here. Colin, one of our wonderful swings. Thanks for being here. Any meaningful moments with fans or other productions?
Oh.
Julie, I think I have one. I'll share.
Yeah, please share.
So after one show, I was coming out, and I was in the hall, like outside of the stage, and a little girl, I saw her. She saw me, and I for the first time, I felt like what it'd be like to be a Disney princess, because she absolutely was like, "Oh my God!" And then the mom was like, "Can she say hello to you?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And I hugged her, and she freaked out. And then later on, the mom found me on Instagram and found out that I was leaving the show. And she messaged me and she said, "I accidentally told my daughter that you were leaving the show," and she started crying.
Oh
no.
So I sent the little girl a video saying like, "Thank you so much for loving the show. And, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And the story will live on." And so the mom took a video of her watching the video, and like she couldn't believe it. And she's like, "Mom, it's her." And that was something that was very meaningful for me.
What a sweet story, and I can definitely guarantee you an ad did not pop up and block you during it. It only happened for a second. No, we could still hear you, and you were still there. I pulled up Steam to get Jackbox going, and it may have blocked you. It was for 5 seconds.
I actually have a story, and it was when I was in Portland last year, and I was at a restaurant on a certain boy wizard's birthday, and while I was there was a local acting troupe who were in costume, and they were going up to people who were like in line for this restaurant, saying, "Hey, we're putting on this show. It's about this school of magic and we're just putting it on. It's called the Puffs. We're doing it, in a few months." And they were working on the line, and I was like, "Oh no, they're gonna come up to me and pitch me on Puffs." Sure enough, they pitched me on the show. I said, "Wow, that sounds like a really great show." It's like, also, I wrote the music. And they're like, "What?" Because it's so weird, because I don't live in Portland, and they had no reason to expect to run into me. But yeah, that was a really crazy interaction, because they all came up one by one. Yeah, it was crazy.
I've gotten to see a few high school productions of Puffs, which oh my goodness, these kids, they love the show so much, and you can really tell that it means something to them to get to be a part of it. But I went and saw one production, and the girl who played Leanne saw me and instantly started crying, and I was like, "Oh my God, do you want a hug? Can I hug you?" And she was like, "Yeah." And it was exactly what Julie said, like feeling like you're a Disney princess all of a sudden.
That was my high school's production.
It was
if I
in
remember.
Texas.
My and Brian's high school.
Hi, Texas.
That's right.
Me and Brian know each other from high school, which is a fact that I think that we've never actually said it out loud.
Really?
On one of these, yeah.
You've never admitted to it.
We've never admitted to it.
I would never
you're
said
right.
it, but
What else are
you
you
did.
hiding?
A lot.
Us fans
Behind
though
that curtain, man.
Yeah. No, Jesse's right. Puffs fans are wonderful.
Puffs fans are fantastic.
Yes, they are.
When I left the show and I went on to another show, I had several Puffs fans travel out to, it was in New Jersey and San Diego, and they would travel to see it and sent gifts and letters on opening night, and that was the moment of realizing how special this group of fans is. So how supportive they are even after you leave the show and go on other places. So
Yeah. And we've had people cosplay as the characters. The group that shall not be named in New York was such a wonderful support. They're kind of the reason that you're able to see the show because they supported us so heavy early on when we were at People's Improv Theater. And yeah, the show that they showed up in Maddie's costumes was like, that's the dream come true, I think, for a nerd. While we're gonna keep talking about this, but I warn you, something might. So I don't know what's going to happen on the screen right now, so. But we can keep talking. But what will we talk about?
There's also something really special. Like, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for everyone, but this was my first off-Broadway show. Did anyone else do anything before this? And so seeing people dressed up like you're like, whoa, are you sure? Was this a mistake, or you wanted to look like me? Oh, you wanted to? And it's so thrilling. Oh, don't listen to that.
I did see. I had to say. So I'm fortunate enough to work. I get to work. I get to go to Comic-Con for work, and a couple of times, people I've seen one or two people in. I've seen like two Leannes. I know that. I've seen a couple of Leannes, and I know that I've seen a couple of Megans. I feel like those are the ones that I see.
And Jay Finches. I feel like I've seen a lot of Jay Finches.
Jay Finch, yeah, Jay Finch it's stylish. Jay Finch, if you cosplay as Jay Finch, it's stylish, it's funky. You can go from the convention
straight
to
to
the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
That's what they like to say out there.
Were you there when the little boy came dressed in the robe with the piece of tape over his nose?
Oh, that's awesome.
It was adorable.
I don't think I got to see that.
It was very sweet.
No,
I remember during my last show, I had a couple of bippies dressed up. I was like,
yeah, when I did my last show, I remember having one of my favorite things was that I had somebody's friend came, and he was British, and his little boy, like, he was like 6 years old, and he was British, and he had these big glasses, and he's the most adorable kid ever. And he comes up to me, and he just like kind of tugs on my shirt, and this like British, like, he's just like, you're cursing coach was my favorite, and like in a British little boy accent. Yeah, he was just like, your cursing coach was my favorite, and I was like, you are the most adorable child I've ever seen. And the fact that this was not a child's matinee. This was like the adult one, and he was just like, I loved it, and I was like, you saw me go off, and you're adorable.
Oh.
I was like.
Even speaking of this short one, but speaking of Comic-Con as well last year, I think it was last year, right? Yeah, me, Steve, and Madeline were at this like barcade style bar, and I think they came up to you first, Maddie, right?
I saw
That's right.
They were waiting in line, and I saw the Puff logo on the back of their shirt. So I said hello, and they turned around and they were screaming at me.
And then it was great because it was first she came up, and then someone told me, there's like, oh, I think she went and found someone who knows your show. And I'll walk over there. And it was like, and then Steve came out. Steve, it was like a triple thing of like a slow build up.
Louder and louder.
Also wearing the Wolverine Badger shirt.
Oh yeah. They were cosplaying as
Badger shirt,
as
which
Puffs.
was like,
yeah.
It was great.
Oh, it's
I remember at the pit, a guy cosplayed as me.
That was the first one.
You were the first one. You were the first one.
Oh yeah. He brought his girlfriend to see the show again at the pit for her birthday.
Her birthday.
He cosplayed.
He said happy birthday.
He brought her there for her birthday. She was like, I love the show. It wasn't her plan. It was not. It was not. She did enjoy the show, but I could tell she was like, he's really happy to be here. I'm very happy I saw the show. And it was very, very sweet. But he was super enthused, and he was like, did you love it? And she did love it. But that was it was very interesting. He was just so enthused, and I don't think he cared what she thought. Like, he was like, we're going to see Puffs, and I loved it. It was so sweet.
A question. Well, I'm setting up Jackbox, so we are going to do it. It's going to take a minute of logistics of figuring out how to get this on the screen. Oh boy, do you hear the music right now?
I can hear it. I can hear it.
I'm gonna turn that off because I imagine that's echoey.
Some good bed. Some good question Q&A bed.
I met the Australian narrator, and we got barbecue in New York City together. And we're very similar people.
You are.
And it was amazing how quickly we became friends. It was really, at one point we reached across the table and we did this without any prompting.
I don't doubt that.
It was magical.
Touching
Gareth, you're great. I don't know if you're watching.
Mirroring, like.
Ooh, yeah, nice.
You can't still hear the beeps, can you? You all?
Oh,
no. I can't hear any beeps.
I'm dancing to music that people can't hear.
Yeah,
it's
that's
fine.
right. I turned it off for the moment.
Fine.
Well, they might. I guess the stream will still be able to hear this though, because it's on my computer.
Oh.
We're learning as we go. There we go. I have to go to settings.
And by we, he means himself. I have learned nothing.
Awesome. So that's how this game works. I don't know if people out there know. So you'll be able to join the audience and vote. How 8 of us will be. I think it's 8 of us will be able to play. We're gonna email.
I'll send it.
Okay. We'll put it in the email from.
We'll have to.
Okay.
Check your emails in a second. Everyone on this screen. This will be fascinating for everyone at home to watch.
Checking email. Action packed.
I'm gonna send it.
Great.
Give me a second.
I'm refreshing. I don't see an email yet.
I haven't sent it yet. Will everyone give me a moment?
I haven't gotten it yet. Where is it? Is it?
I still don't have it.
Hey, where's the email?
See what I have to deal with.
Sent it?
Now I can't see it. I can't see it.
I'm not getting it.
But you just send it to us?
Can you move
Hey,
that?
everyone in the
Have you
chat,
sent
have you
it?
got the email
Have you
yet?
sent it?
I have it.
Have you sent it?
Oh my goodness.
And whoever wants to.
I don't have it.
So the instructions to everyone out there is supposed to be on your phone or a computer. You go to jackbox.tv and you'll be able to vote on various things that this group, this bunch of weirdos says. Oh, odd.
But how many of us can play? 8?
Yes.
Wait,
we're
everyone
on a
has
team.
to use their names because it's confusing for me. So there's no way it's not confusing for people that don't know us. Who is who?
All right, I think I'm in.
Do you just search names or
Been the Matrix.
Use your real name.
Also,
So someone has to tell me when everybody's
I'm
in, so I know
I'm
when.
in.
I will,
I'm in.
yes. I'm going to share the screen in a second.
Bonus.
Okay.
Thanks for everyone out there going on this technological journey. This is the after party, am I right?
We're hanging out.
Nothing.
Anything can happen at the after party.
There's room for.
Anything.
Oh, there we go. All right, 8 people are in.
Can't have.
All right. So now, hold on. You all
Oh,
can
well.
see it. Oh, don't start it yet though. Oh, God.
Don't start.
Don't start it.
Cancel.
Oh,
That's
it's
all right.
started.
I should be able to get it. Hold on.
I press cancel. Oh no, did I ruin it?
Okay, they'll still see the room code at the bottom.
Yeah, no, it'll be all right.
Hey, here we are.
Hey!
But hold on. Oh, and they can see it too. I think it's working. Oh, nope. There we go.
There.
All right, if you're playing at home, RSTK is the room
Yes,
code.
I'm blocking it with the
The chat gimmick, yeah.
RSTK. You can join the audience. The way this will happen is the various people here are going to get prompts for like funny questions, and you'll get to vote on which one is the funniest.
Are there children in the audience?
Yeah, if you're a child out there, let us know.
Raise your
11:45
hand.
at night. What do your parents do?
Wonderful.
If you're a kid and people on the internet ask you if you're a kid, don't tell them yes. Let's do it right now.
That's a little message from James Bowie. James, in your most recent, what classes are you playing in your 4 D&Ds?
Oh, so I DM 2 of them.
Oh, that's right.
In one, I'm a monk, and in the other, I'm a cleric. A tempest cleric who brings the lightning and thunder.
Nice.
Ooh.
I like that.
How fun. I'm playing a paladin for the first time in the game that Zach is running.
Pretty cool.
Which is really
Yeah,
fun.
you are. I'm gonna
He's
do that
good
tomorrow.
with a glaive. Wonderful. Where is the window I was looking for? There we go. Wonderful. Yay.
How much time is left?
24 seconds.
Oh God.
I'll give you like a 10-second heads up.
Thank you.
I finished
There.
Very quick.
I think that gets us all mostly on there. There we go. I'll be moving that window around. You'll see different people whenever we did.
Okay, 10 seconds.
10 seconds, everyone.
I did it.
Hey.
Proud of you.
37 in the
All right,
audience.
enter.
38 in the
I'm not
audience.
that proud.
Woo.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
under
love
the
countdowns.
wire
Right? I love countdowns, man. Countdowns are
Stress.
so much fun.
Well, whatever. Technical question.
Also, Harry Waller and Ryan Stinnett are in the chat. Hi, Harry and Ryan.
Hey, narrators!
All right. Oh, wait.
Wait,
Here we
the
go.
3 ingredients in a drink called the Chicago. 1, deep dish. Pizza. Oh, I did that wrong. Iced gin and improvisers.
Oh man.
Sorry, I got
Dish
stressed.
pizza.
I got
So
stressed.
one of those is obviously a failed attempt by Andy. Deep dish pizza.
I wish. AJ Ellie.
Wow.
It was worth it. I
Wow.
loved it.
Thank you, audience. Thank you, audience. I really appreciate that,
Dish
y'all.
and
You
pizza.
sank us.
Yeah.
You sank us, Andy.
Look,
Deep
I'm
dish
sorry.
pizzas.
I'm sorry. They thought
It's
it was
really
me,
good.
so
You-
they
I
They
like
got
that.
three things. Deep, they got dish,
The
and
dish and they got pizza. That goes in the trailer. That's in the trailer for Andy Goes to Chicago.
The most pointless thing to strap on a GoPro.
The heart of the ocean. That's really funny.
I love
I
it.
love the heart of the ocean. I like the heart of the ocean.
The last time.
I like them both very much.
This is
They're
crazy.
both
This is
really
like
good.
one of the first times where like the audience is really going to
It
determine who
means
wins.
something, right? You gotta,
Oh,
you
God,
gotta think
I
about
didn't
it, not
think
just
about
you
that.
clowns.
Appease their will.
So how do I pander to people I don't
Oh,
know?
yeah, I'm gonna move this.
20, but
Whoa!
20,
The audience disagrees with us.
Yo!
That was okay.
This is
Should we
interesting.
put it up at the top?
The audience.
We know
you
what
gotta do
the
this every
people-
week, yo. Can you do this every week and get
Sorry.
the audience
we gotta,
involved?
we gotta figure this out.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like an
We
action.
can't play to each other. We gotta play the audience.
No AJ Diddy corpse in this one.
You were just been here.
A weird thing to choose
always
for
an
your
AJ Diddy.
last meal.
I always want to use it. It's my.
I guess up and
So,
on the side.
yeah, I'm sorry that this keeps moving
Oh.
everyone out there.
Hey Nick, why gazpacho?
Yeah.
Because it's not fucking soup.
Yeah, it's gotta do that.
Because it's
We're on 3
stupid
now.
and it's wrong.
Here we go. Here
Over
we
Okay.
go.
here works the best.
Special guest Nick.
No.
What's not?
And
Ooh,
we're-
well
we're-
done.
Whoa.
Beauty.
They
Audience
like
though.
me.
On
I can't make
deck.
you guys laugh, but I can make the audience laugh sometimes.
Hey guys.
It is
me laugh.
coming down to the audience now. Ooh, thanks.
Worst thing saying in marriage, but this is good. These are good prompts.
Yeah.
Cousins.
Cousins.
Yeah, can I get everyone's opinion here on cousins? No, let's not do
No,
it.
no, no, no,
Can I get everyone's?
All right, there are no
opinion on
rules.
polygamy?
Rules are off.
Nope.
No, no, no,
It's
no.
it's 10 minutes to midnight, man. We're
I
at
just think
doomsday right
I
now.
have this very vivid memory of a conversation we all had.
Hmm.
And yet,
Wait, who's butts to men?
Who else?
Okay.
Who else would be
would it
Butts?
be?
If Butts is in the title, you know who it
it's
is.
not been Nick Correa.
Well.
Thank you, Miles. I will keep the window here. Thank you.
Is this the best place
I
for
think
it?
Perfection.
so.
Yeah.
Man, air can't hurt me.
I like these both for very different reasons.
Those
Man,
are both really
air
good.
can't hurt me. Think about it. Man, air can't hurt me. It's me, Reigns Tearport.
Yeah.
Thanks, Langston.
I mean, I thought it was pretty fun.
Andy is
Okay,
killing
but-
it with the audience. Andy is like,
Andy knows
found-
what's going on.
Andy's the queen of the game.
That's hilarious. I don't win that often.
Yeah, for people, Ryan, who's in the chat, I think he just said this. Him and Harry Waller, who's also in there. We're both narrators who followed AJ in the show. They're both-
Nice.
Ride that
narrators.
centaur.
I mean,
that-
Go
I
on.
didn't.
What else?
No, I didn't write that, but I have to vote for it.
I know.
That's fair.
I like the idea of rolling onto someone else though. Like if you
Right,
pass the
it's
fire.
hilarious.
Like if you're like, now you have the fire.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
audience.
Oh man.
She's right. It's not good advice.
Placate
It's not
to
good
the
advice.
audience.
It's not good
Placate
advice.
to the audience. Placate to
It's not
the
good
audience.
advice. It's not good
You
advice.
You can't pander
Make-
to us.
I'm not. Hey, listen.
How to make golf more exciting.
Feral Wolverines with
Cats.
No extreme.
full contact nude.
I don't know
What does that
means.
mean?
Ooh, what does that even mean?
Are
What do you mean? Hey, AJ, if you gotta ask,
You
can't.
Can't afford it, baby. Come on, you gotta ask. You can't afford it.
Like 3D nudes. Confused.
I was just me and Julie were just fascinated. What are full contact nudes?
It means whatever you want it to
That's
mean.
what I want. I'm
Exactly.
tuning into your Zoom talk soon.
Here, when we get to the next 20, whenever they write the things, we'll get back to some of the Q&As. So if you got any other
I like
questions,
that, yeah.
put them in the chat, everyone. I shouldn't point it at the microphone.
Remember? New York something that said left. Filled our tears in COVID. Holy shit.
This is upsetting.
Oh.
Revolutions of Song is Jesse's first album, right?
I'll eat whatever falls.
Baby.
Oh, no, I'm the only one. Oh, no, I'm not. You guys, me and the audience think alike.
No, the audience, man. That's changing the game right now.
It really is.
Right.
This is crazy.
The people.
It's an interesting metric. It's an interesting metric.
Hey,
let's see.
Hey, that was me. I was on that one. That was me on that one.
Interesting metrics, yo. Let's see what's going
on.
Let's see. All right, let's look at the board.
Show me 8.
Whoa! Yeah. He's killing it.
November 5th.
Andy,
Damn,
my
Andy.
birthday is on November 5th. Guy Foxday, I'll take it. Remember the 5th of November. I'll take 5th place. 5th or nothing. Or better. 5th or 1st. I'll take 5th or 1st.
As the saying goes.
5th or 1st.
5th or 1st. One thing you don't shame the
Jordan Yanko, first time viewing Puffs, third time asking this question. I'm sorry. Was there a dialect coach for the production?
Colin Wait.
Yeah, Colin.
Oh, yeah. Colin, one of the original producers on the show, who lived in England for quite a while, helped us out quite a bit at the beginning with that, and some of it was just, everyone figuring it out, though, so... yeah.
It's you can't put a number on life unless you can. That's hard. I don't know.
But there you go.
I blame Matt.
Autumn H says we get Andy and Andy gets us.
Yeah. Oh boy, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Wonderful. Film Fan 3 says this game is entertaining. So yay. Hooray. Good job, everyone. Trying to get back. Oh, we did have a question earlier from Malva Ashdown. What would be the title of your biography? You have 15 seconds to finish your other vote.
What?
Any title of your biography?
Oh boy.
Your
I'll
personal.
say that in the boys' dressing room, they had a whiteboard, and very often we would put people and be like, Jesse Can, fallen pizza on the sidewalk, a Jesse Canizaro memoir, or
yeah.
it would just change all the time.
I was paying attention to the questions and then I didn't answer the last question.
Oh no! So we're gonna need a random answer.
We need a safety quip.
Tough. This is me tough.
Tiny poor boy pudding.
That's grim business. That's rough. Tiny poor boy.
What is it? What is that?
It's pudding made by Tiny poor boy.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Damn, y'all, savages.
I'm not a big
I love
pudding fan.
Oh.
Neither am I.
Oh.
Tiny poor. Is it made? Is it made of them? Is it? Oh damn!
Or
Like, if you have to ask,
Made by them.
you can't
maybe?
afford it.
If you gotta ask.
I thought they said Paddington.
I also
The Paddington.
We all read Paddington.
What was that, Maddie?
I also thought it said Paddington.
When do you guys think the next Paddington is coming out?
Tomorrow.
Knows now.
Well, King has been
Joining the Zoom room is.
Can someone write an unauthorized Paddington sequel for us to do a reading of?
Wow, thank
I
you,
don't
Andy.
think they would
Appreciate it.
like
Wow,
it.
and the audience. That's cool.
Also,
Nice try, Langston.
They're very stressed out.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, listen. The
People
people want
just
they
want
want.
cuddles right now.
They want cuddles. They don't want the truth, man. They don't what they don't know.
It's like a game where you put a number on your whip.
Truth's power. Yeah, right.
Oh.
Ew!
Oh, yep.
These are
Oh.
very intense.
Why is it wet?
Wow.
Does
Why is it
wet
wet?
blood smell different than dry blood?
I mean, blood.
Yeah.
I think so.
Have you had
Yeah.
tri-blood?
I
I
don't.
don't even know what to say.
That's for higher iron content.
Oh no.
James, did you have an opinion on that?
I couldn't even vote until I was like,
He's just cleaning up.
Guys, I can't make you laugh, but the audience laughs at me. That's all that matters.
they're wholesome people, and we're playing to the lowest common
I
denominator.
appreciate you.
Over under.
We're
on what-
playing to the most darkest. Look at this! Look at this! This! Whose side is the audience supposed to be on?
All of his children.
That is a tremendous
What are you
song.
talking about? He just saw us do that show, and seeing us play this game undoes all of that. It's like that's who they. That's who we're doing.
Brian.
And you see, we all voted for that one too, didn't we? We did it to their faces. We're doing it. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh my god. All of his
And the audience. So you're just as bad as we are, you
Oh,
dirty
that's
freaks.
upsetting.
Because you gotta say it out loud in your head, and that's what puts it all together.
Yeah, children's
That's right.
children, right?
Yeah, that's how.
Oh God damn it!
Title of a
One-
telephone.
One time somebody tagged me in a tweet
Oh,
saying
that's
I should
great.
play one of the My Little Ponies.
Go for it.
I don't know which one it was.
Who cares? You want to make $1 million?
No. It
Oh,
wasn't.
they're both great.
That's all you gotta
They're
do.
both great.
It was not a person who was in charge of casting. It was
I
a
knew it.
random person.
You
on
just
the
get that
internet.
started. You retweet that and say, "Hey,
Okay. Okay.
I'm
My
so
pretty
sorry.
For the
Friendship
record,
is Tragic is so good.
it's really
Yeah.
good.
That's it had my vote. That is amazing.
That was
Chef's kiss.
perfect. A perfect joke. I can't think of Anne.
Is that Jesse's?
Someone must think of Anne.
No.
I also like the idea of I wouldn't know anybody there. I should know. I don't. Who am I gonna know? And this.
It is Jesse.
They're
I
both-
can't
oh,
think
even
of
split, yeah, yeah." We've all been there, right?
Alexis, come back.
Can't think of it.
We know about it. Think about that. Think about hearing that from someone you love or your parents. We know about that.
Jesse was still downloading them.
Worst thing to smell is you get in your car. Ooh.
Smells.
This is right for an AJ Diddy's corpse. See, that's when you put an AJ
Yeah,
Diddy's
this is-
corpse. That's when you do that one of those.
AJ.
Anxiety, sweat, Mountain Dew. Oh, give me a little bit of
I mean, that
salt.
has split my corpse.
Tequila and a little bit of lime and
Anxiety,
salt.
sweat, Mountain Dew.
It's not a
Sounds
bad
like a
thing.
good
to smell in the
Hey,
car.
baby.
Sounds like
A
a great
five,
Tequila and a little bit
a-
of lime and salt.
5
is exactly
rotations.
what you want. Yeah.
5 rotations. That's like a little like Easter egg right there.
like a
Andy,
rotation.
Andy, thank you for perfectly encapsulating what my
Damn,
corpse.
Andy, you are kicking some ass.
So Andy, I'm saying, so anyone watching this,
This
you
never
now know.
happens, guys.
Revolution is a solved. That's what we need an audience, man. The whole metric change.
You don't understand.
A Christian water bottle. Yeah.
They're both so good.
I can see one of those on a very like the only place like is that you're we're really gonna put that up there, Tom? Yeah, we are. They're gonna love it.
Those are both great.
But like in italics, kind of smaller, you know?
We will be the greatest water park in Greater Pennsylvania.
The only place in the world.
It has. I imagine it's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
I like it both.
A
absolutely.
lot of land, a lot of places,
I
a
couldn't
lot of
choose.
places for slides.
That's the only requirement for where water parks go.
Why am I gonna go to a water park and sit in water? I can do that
All
at
right,
home.
wait,
Like-
where are we at?
In your bathtub.
Here we go.
You know where you're at.
Come
Andy's
on,
gonna
seven.
move up.
Shoot for
Andy's gonna
seven.
clutch.
Come on,
Andy's
seven.
gonna clutch.
Ooh.
I'm still in fifth.
Maddie and
Still in
Steve.
fifth.
Maddie and Steve
Yeah.
catching up.
Yeah. I'm keeping it.
Oh man.
Oh, everyone's favorite
Top
round.
row right to the
Oh,
left.
I don't want to move. I really don't want to move out of fifth
Please
place.
don't be a comic, please.
I'm really okay with
This
that.
is the
That's
one
really
that we
fun.
all hate. This is the one that we all.
Yeah, we don't
This
love
is
this
tough
one.
though, but the audience again, metric changes.
All right, word lash.
I think this
Yeah,
one.
this could be.
It's okay.
Okay.
This is interesting.
Ugh.
Novel with the word in the title, slime.
All
A
right.
classic novel.
I
Okay.
don't know.
Also, a question for everyone out there: if you like this, if you like watching this group of people play this, let us know. We play it often. We play it every once in a while, so we might as well just put it on the internet. Awesome. Going to the other. Let's see if there's any other questions, real quick.
Oh! I sent in something by accident, and now it's wrong.
Stravia Origanti wants to know if you had to swap characters with anyone else, which character would you want to play? Anyone?
Wayne.
Oh, Maddie wants to be Oliver. Who said Wayne? Jesse?
Listen, I want to be Oliver.
Get him. He's right there. Kristen, if you could play a character in the show, who would you play?
Better question, yeah.
Oh, I just get my hands.
I think the Hannah track.
I see you in that. Yeah, that would make sense.
absolutely.
That would make sense. Yeah.
I love her clothing.
So if you're looking at the screen right now, you see the sloam, which isn't the word slime. I was gonna write the slime machine. So think of the sloam as the slime machine. Hey, this is Langston Belton.
Right?
Sloam was mine, and it was meant to say
You
the
didn't
slime machine.
This is the best audience ever, Slime.
So imagine my face instead of the sloam. You see slime machine.
You're not even being subtle.
I can't. My choice isn't up there. Slime machine is the one you see in the bottom.
I know. I like how he's like, hey, if you guys enjoy me,
that one ain't it. That
you
one ain't
enjoy
it.
what I did.
If you wonder what the sloam is and wondered who that person who's losing their mind is, okay, what do we do?
I don't know.
Who's meant to the slime machine?
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So this will keep me in fifth.
Stop. What's happening?
All right.
Guys.
Nice.
I think Andy or Julie.
First up the block.
Guys,
Thank you, guys.
I'm never playing without
In
an
fifth,
audience
in
ever
fifth,
again.
in fifth.
Is it gonna be Andy?
I'm right in the middle.
Andy's
He's
winning. Andy's gonna win.
He's gonna clutch. Andy
I don't know.
he had a
You swept it, Andy.
Andy had a rear naked choke on that bad boy.
Where were you guys when I was doing puffs? I'm just kidding. I got laughter.
Stairs, waiting for us to come outside and say hello.
Oh,
number 7.
I missed where we got.
Lucky number 7. I got moved down. Lucky number 11.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't get to see
Right?
her.
Ourselves.
All
Somehow.
right. Yay. Well, that was fun. That was neat.
Great.
Tough business.
That's the most fun I've had playing Jackbox.
Because you won.
To win.
Wonderful. All right, I'm gonna back out of this real quick. Give me 1 second to set this right, because I'm sure something will go wrong.
Should we keep talking?
Oh no, it didn't.
So far, everything's working.
Looks
Everything's good.
We're all still here. Nice.
You're all still
Yeah.
here, but that's playing.
Well,
there we go.
Ellie's been dead for 15 years.
Ooh. Amazing. Well, that's the Puffs Playbill #Playbill Playback After Party. Yay!
Did you have fun?
Did you have fun?
Because we did.
Thanks for coming to our after party. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the show and supporting this channel. Sincerely, it's always just wonderful that anyone out there is interested in hanging out with us.
How much longer is it streaming on Playbill?
I think it's for the week. So if you want to watch it again, or if you want to point any of your other friends who maybe haven't seen Puffs, point them towards Playbill. It's going to be playing through the week. And a portion of the proceeds goes to Frontline Foods, who are helping. This is the national branch. It's the same charity that we supported with our first reading. But they help out local restaurants, and then they take by buying out large orders of food, and then they take those meals to local hospitals. So you're helping many people with just a little, with your one donation. It's a really wonderful organization. Wonderful. So sincerely, thank you to the cast of Puffs. Thank you all. Thank you to Krista McCarthy Parker. Thank you to Brian Matolius.
Thank you.
The version of Centaur will be playing on the way out right now. So if it was echoing, this one shouldn't, in theory. Again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. We're trying to grow it. We're going to be bringing you new and different things over the course of the next few weeks. We will be bringing you Kapowie Go 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 episode 2 soon. Keep an eye on our social media. Follow Puffs Play, follow Kapowie Go Go, follow the Ultra Corporation's social media accounts for more updates on that. And give it a like.
Follow us.
Give it a share. What?
Follow Julie. Everyone follow Julie.
Julie has something to say. Julie had everyone turn off your cameras. Everyone turn off your cameras. Just Julie. Julie had something to say.
Quiet.
Close
Julie,
it out.
go ahead.
Never mind.
But just one more time.
I miss you.
I love it.
And you won't be able to hear the music, but just pretend like you can. Thanks again for everyone watching. Bye!
It's playing?
It's playing. You can't hear it.
It's playing.
tempo. Ride that centaur, right? Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Come on, girl, ride that centaur. Come on, girl, ride that centaur. Through the woods, to the lake, around the school, to the pitch, getting lost, walk around, get upset, walk around. Come on, girl, ride that centaur. 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 Check the map, I'm confused, 'cause we're back at the lake. Throw me in, I can't swim, I can't swim, I can't.